Hi everyone, this is Michael with a general reading intended for Aquarius Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for the month of September 2020. I do hope that this video finds you well and in relatively good spirits. I do apologize that they are coming a bit late this month. I have been pretty busy and honestly just feeling very drained. I've definitely been feeling the Mars retrograde energy pretty strongly in my own life, and it hasn't even gone retrograde yet. We are still in this pre-shadow phase. It's going to be going retrograde on the 9th. For those of you who are really interested in learning more about the astrology of the month, I highly recommend that you take a look at the astrology blog, linked in the description box down below. I do also have all of my services, so those of you who are looking to have a Reiki session or a personal reading with me, that is linked down below, as well as donations for those of you who feel so called. And if you'd like to look at some of your other signs as well, you can check out the playlist for September and see if there's a message in there in one of those videos for you too. So I do want to kind of shuffle here and see what comes up for you. And as I do this, Aquarius, I really just want to remind you, with this Mars retrograde energy, it can be very frustrating. And for you specifically, this is landing in your 3rd house. Which is a lot to do with your community and your communication. And possibly even extended family. 3rd house also rules over cousins, siblings. Interesting. We do also have some planets still in your opposite sign, in Venus, or in Leo. We have Venus in Leo, I believe, this month as well. I know we do. I'm just trying to think of when. And I'm kind of seeing this in the cards, actually. There is something being really lit up for your relationships. Here's the conflict. Page of Swords and the Knight of Wands. We'll get to that. What came out first was really interesting because you had the 2 of Cups with the Wheel of Fortune here. There is some fortuitous change in a relationship, in a bond. And this doesn't necessarily mean romantic, although it certainly could be for some of you. I actually do feel like this is talking about an intimate relationship. Could be involving a Sagittarius, especially with this Knight of Wands over here. And what's interesting is you have the Sun and Moon here together. And it's like total eclipse of the heart. That's just the phrase that comes to mind here. These 2 opposite energies coming together, and there's something very beautiful about this interaction. Could be dealing with a Leo individual or a Pisces individual with the Moon. And we started off this month with a full moon in Pisces. And this kind of feels similar to that lunation that we're still going to be in until the new moon. I want to say on the 17th or 19th. Let me actually double check. It's on the 17th. Okay, and that's going to be in Virgo. With this full moon lunation that we're in for the first half of September, there's a lot that's coming to the surface that may have been buried or lost in the subconscious, whether that's personal or collective. And with the astrology this month as well, we have Jupiter that's going direct on September 13th, and Saturn going direct towards the end of the month. I want to say that's on the 29th. And these two planets play a significant role in karma. Saturn represents our lessons, our growth, our tests. And Jupiter represents expansion, our boons, our karmic rewards. So there could be plenty of both this month. And this is happening in your 12th house, your house of spirituality. And this revelation that's coming forward, your 12th house, your subconscious, something is showing up in your life in a very prominent way. And it feels like something takes off very quickly, whether this is a relationship or a communication, conversation. Some of you are really just deciding to listen to your heart. And you're going for this with this Knight of Wands and the Page of Swords. I do have to say though, these two cards are showing up in your mind and your communication. And we were sort of talking about this feeling of conflict with Mars going retrograde. There really could be some tension, and it does feel like it could possibly be with a sibling or cousin or family member like that. So it feels separate from this. I could see, though, how with these opposite energies coming together, the sun and the moon, there's a lot of beauty here, right? But then you have these differences that might result in some heated discussion, some agitation, some conflict. We actually won't be in Mars retrograde long in the first half of September. It's just going to be, it's not until the 9th that this happens. We are in the pre-shadow phase though, so things might be slowing down. But for you, Aquarius, something really beautiful is actually turning. And I feel like some of you, there could be just this light being shining down into your love lives, into your relationships. And maybe you're single. Maybe this isn't actually a partner coming in, but this is just you realizing some pattern about yourself or the way that you approach relationships, healing something like that. But I want to say for a good chunk of you, there's a beautiful coming together here. And there's a lot of passion, both mentally and physically. And emotionally with the moon, but it's almost nerve-wracking when you have something this strong. This feels like some of you, I'm always skeptical of saying these things, but it really does feel like some of you could be coming into like a soulmate or twin flame connection. Something that's fated, kind of a predestined relationship, a pre-life contract that's coming in to the picture here. Because when I see the Wheel of Fortune, it's easy to think of fate, of destiny. And the forces that are beyond our physical control. Once you spin the wheel, the rest is up to the laws of physics. The rest is up to the universe, where it really lands. And there is some strong Sagittarius energy here. I just want to say that. So I'm going to pull an animal card for you now. And this is beautiful. I just love the sun and the moon coming together. It's so rare to see these in the same reading and right next to each other like this. Wow. I feel like someone could potentially be expressing their feelings and it just blows you out of the water. The things that they have to say. Or that could be you doing this. Interesting. So I have the tiger and the elk coming out here. And when I look at the elk card, I kind of see this sun that looks almost like an eclipse. And again, there's a very strong sensual connection here with the tiger. I have to say that. That's being really shaken up in you right now. And tiger is also a surprisingly sensitive energy. It's very powerful, but it's also very intuitive. It has very evolved senses. It's not the sort of energy that wants to be in the center of things where everything is happening. And that's kind of this sun and moon coming together. There's a lot of power here. But there could be a lot going on around you where you're feeling the need to sort of pull away. And the elk card here. Some of you are also in the process of building something for yourself that's going to give you and the people you care about a lot of stability. Because I'm seeing this Wheel of Fortune and the Two of Cups actually show up in your day-to-day life. And this almost feels like you're committing to some sort of project, or you're committing to some sort of new and exciting opportunity. There's a lot of movement here for you, actually. But it's almost like you're walking through the shadows. You're trying to figure out how to move and be unseen by certain people. So let's take a look at the second half, the second half of August here. Let me just grab those cards really quick. So let's look at the second half of September for Aquarius. Show me clearly. And this is also your 8th house season. We were talking about this sexuality really being activated for you with this tiger card. This creativity, this mysterious force. And there are a lot of secrets that are going to be exposed. With all of this light with all of this light shining into your 8th house. There we go. A lot of secrets might be coming forward, or a lot of things that have been hidden. It doesn't feel particularly bad, though. It almost feels like there's a blessing in the shadow. There's a light in the shadow. And, you know, you are very affected by this month, because your ruling planet Saturn is going direct. One of your ruling planets. Okay. Oh, y'all are gonna hate me for this. I'm sorry. Okay, we have the 8 of Cups with the 9 of Wands. Something that honestly came to mind here, I was just thinking about this eclipse and how the perfect alignment, this rare and perfect celestial alignment, is also quite fleeting. And with the 8 of Cups, it's like walking away from something, feeling very worn down. I have to wonder for some of you if there's just this very intense connection that comes into your life that's very passionate and exciting, and it's only there for a moment. And it's really easy to look at that as something failed, but maybe there's something to find beauty in something like this, in this connection. Wow, interesting. So this is a general reading, and this is obviously not going to apply to everybody, but something that did come to mind and was sort of just confirmed for me. The world in reverse with the Two of Pentacles. I really wonder if this is almost like a situation of like meeting someone in the midst of a transition. Like one of you are moving or something, or like you start a job and someone's leaving a job, something like that. It's like your paths are crossing for a moment, and it's beautiful and profound and spiritual, and I think it's almost this lesson of detachment, to be honest with you. I do wonder if this is sort of a connection that maybe this is sort of a pattern, or maybe this is something that continues to happen. It's like the two of you weave in and out of each other's lives, because this feels so fated. And you might be sitting here like, oh my god, how can I fall in love with this person in this situation and it fall through so quickly? I'm kind of curious about that myself. Just because someone's your soulmate or a twin flame, it doesn't mean they're meant to be in your life forever. And that's a really hard lesson for a lot of people to learn. And if this isn't talking about a relationship, this could be something to do with your purpose, where you keep weaving in and out of your purpose. I do feel like, though, I want to say, we were talking about this thing happening with family. Some of you are distancing yourself from whoever it is that's giving you conflict. This doesn't necessarily mean that this relationship or this love is doomed. Obviously, you need to use your own discretion and discernment here. This is just a general reading. But this is a very intense connection. And I feel like you're walking away from something that you've also been, you've been really fighting and trying to make something happen for a very long time. And you feel like nothing is going to change with the world in reverse. You're just repeating cycles again and again. And maybe this is part of this revelation that you had earlier on in the month with the sun and the moon together. And now you're making some sort of change or adjustment here. And I have the Page of Pentacles here in reverse as well. It's like someone's not learning their lesson. And that kind of feels separate from the Two of Cups energy. It feels more like this family or friend situation even, or cousin situation, something like that. And your own life could really be in flux. This is such a star-crossed lovers energy. And it seems like there's, even though they're separate situations, it's like whatever is happening in your daily life might be interfering with this romantic or emotional connection. I want to get a better sense of this here. Some of you might feel like be feeling like hurt by something that this person has done. Whoever this soulmate or twin flame or whatever they are to you. Personally, I don't like to get too wrapped up in these words. I think they can actually be a little dangerous because we put so much meaning to something, and it's like, well, what does that actually mean to us? What do we make these words even mean? But when I think of a soulmate or a twin flame, it's not the fairy tale a lot of people online will sort of tell you it is. And I know like a twin flame relationship, by a lot of people's account, isn't a fairy tale by any means. There's a lot of trials, there's a lot of tests, there's a lot of challenge, but there's often this narrative of you end up together, or it's something that's like the most profound relationship ever. And it has a lot of potential, for sure, but it's also someone's willingness to grow. That's what's really important. And you might have been in a situation with someone who you really feel a strong spiritual connection, but you're just not on the same paths. You're not growing in the same ways anymore. Or some person is refusing to grow and learn a lesson and to expand themselves. And it's very easy for us to stay or to justify these sorts of behaviors because, oh, this person's my twin flame, they're my soulmate. Obviously, I need to stay. Obviously, like, this is just part of the test. And the reality is, it doesn't matter what sort of relationship you're in. If you are enabling someone's, I guess, unhealthy behavior or dysfunctional behavior, you're not doing what you were intending to do. Because twin flame relationships, soulmate relationships, they're all about growth. And it's not your job to sweep things under the rug. I feel like some of you needed to hear that. Or maybe someone in your life did. Who knows? But relationships aren't about winning. It's not about conquest. It's not Mars energy, okay? It's does this work? Does this thing between you and I work constructively? Are we able to create a life together? At least that's how a lot of people approach relationships. Maybe it's different for you. I don't know. But for a lot of people seeking this sort of connection, it's how you live together. It's how you function together. And whatever this star-crossed lovers thing is, don't feel like you've been forsaken, okay? This is actually a very beautiful thing. I feel like for some of you, what this connection has done is that it's reawoken you. It's made you very passionate. And maybe this isn't even someone you've just met. Maybe this is someone you've been kind of relating to already. I do feel like there is something kind of coming to an end, at least for now. I know the way that these relationships circle. And with the world in reverse, it's possible that the cycle isn't over, but it's like, you need to take the next step. You need to move forward here. You need to walk away from this Eight of Cups energy, and it's hard. Walking away from the Eight of Cups is not easy, because you have to climb a mountain. And when I think of the tarot, I think of kind of the sequence of things. The 8 is so close to the 9, which is this wish fulfillment, having what you want. And it's like there's so many pieces here that feel right. There's so many elements that feel good. But then there's just a couple, one or two missing parts that really prevent it from being its full potential. And you have to move on. However, with this specific deck, with the traditional Rider-Waite, the Eight of Cups is still standing. So again, this could be something that ends up coming back into your life. The Eight Cups aren't destroyed or shattered like they are in some of the tarot cards, or in some of the tarot decks for this card. You really might just be taking some space. Or there's just this chapter apart. And it feels like someone needs to focus on their growth and on their stability. And I keep getting this sense of like failure, like I wasn't enough, I'm not enough, I'm stuck in my situation. And now it's, this person is feeling like they want to make sure that never happens to them again. They want to feel more prepared. They want to build something in the long term with this King of Pentacles here. And I was talking about this earlier too. It's like there's this desire to create stability for yourself and your loved ones, the people you care about. Maybe there's something financial or something material here that's preventing you from being together, and that's kind of becoming a focus of yours. It's like, I need to have more stability in my life. Let's pull one more animal card here. The cheetah, running towards your purpose and really connecting with the why. Why are you doing certain things? Why are you moving towards certain things? Some of you are leaving phases of your life behind this month. You could be leaving a home. You could be leaving a job, maybe both. Relationships. And it shouldn't be you running away. It should be you moving towards something. And maybe this is a vague feeling. Because with the Eight of Cups, it's like you're in this valley. You don't know what's over the mountain. But you know on a spiritual level you're being called there. And you have to trust in this process. You have to trust in this dance that you're in. And possibly in with this other person. And this passion that has awoken in you, it feels like it's something you're supposed to work with in your own life as well. And those are all the messages I have for you now, Aquarius. I do hope that this was helpful. Be sure to hit like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments down below what's going on for you. Who is this star-crossed person? What is the story between the two of you? It seems very, very intense. I do have all of my links down below for those of you who would like personal readings or Reiki sessions. And of course, I do appreciate when people like and subscribe. It does help this channel grow and allows me to keep doing this work. So I thank all of you for doing that as well. And I will see you in the next video. Take care, Aquarius.